Happy Monday. Today we share our love and respect on Memorial Day, and we're getting treated to some beautiful weather today. Now we're going to see that sunshine already moving in on our windows and more tower cam, and these temperatures are in the 50s, some low 60s on the board, but it's on the drier side for us, which is definitely a change. I mean, I don't know if you guys were out on the roads yesterday morning, but it was very foggy. We had that dense fog advisory yesterday morning till about 10 a.m. Now, thankfully, we're not dealing with that today, but our temperatures are going to remain on the mild side this morning, and we'll see those pick up into the 80s for our highs, looking at that on our Freedom Health First Alert Doppler. So you can see this division right here when it comes to our temperatures and also our dew points. So our dew points for the most part are in the 50s and 60s, and then these temperatures are increasing into the 80s for today. So when we see those kind of on the more separate path, that means we're going to see more drier conditions in store for us. And that's just due to the high pressure that was influencing us yesterday. Now that system is off to the northeast more so, and then to the south, we're seeing some of this low pressure. But this is going to start to encompass the area as we push further into tomorrow. Might bring a couple isolated systems to the area. It's looking, though, to be more so off to our east, so not everyone is going to see this activity. You can see it start to build in as it does with this trough. It'll start to kind of push through and then start to kind of encompass some of the area. But again, some of us will be on the drier side, but we are having more chances for some showers and storms as we move through the rest of our week. So that's why I definitely enjoy today with the beautiful weather in store for us. I think it's going to be even nicer than it was yesterday. We're going to see even warmer temperatures, and also we're going to see a little bit of cloud cover here and there, but some light winds. And as we track into the midweek mark, we'll see more of these systems start to come in. And that's when the heavier rainfall is anticipated to start to come in as well. We'll see towards Wednesday and Thursday, that's when we'll have more chances for some heavier rainfall. And that's what it's going to be looking like by our midweek mark. That marginal 1 out of 4 risk for most of us on Wednesday to see some of that excessive rain, which could trigger some localized flooding risk as well. But a beautiful morning to go out and walk your dog. We'll see some temperatures in the 60s this morning, that sunshine. It's really honestly kind of looking like this outside, even though this is a graphic. This is obviously not what's actually outside. It's a similar representation for sure. But these temperatures are going to remain above average for the most part this week. We'll see some 70s and 80s on the board for us. And then as we kind of push into the evenings, we'll start to see some of those mild temperatures come in. But we might not see these warmer temperatures for too much longer. As we push into the next 6 to 10 days, that's when a drop off is anticipated. We'll get a little bit below average for sure, and that doesn't necessarily mean cold. It just could mean, you know, some 60s and 70s instead of the 80s and upper 70s for us. But today we'll be in the 80s above average, around 84 in Joplin, 84 in Miami, also 85 in Grove. So some uniform temperatures on the board for us today. But as we get into this evening, we'll start to see some lows on the board in the 60s with some upper 50s as well. Now here's a look at your KSM forecast from the Local Weather Authority. We'll see that high today around good morning or good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on our Memorial Day today. Well, you can't tell as much right now because we are seeing a bit more of the clouds, but if you step outside, it's warm outside. I was talking to Tiffany. She was saying the humidity is kind of picking up a little bit. I mean, we're not seeing as much wind flow, so you might definitely notice some moisture, but on our windows and more tower cam, it's still a great day. I mean, we don't have any showers and storms, so we will definitely take a break from all of that because we saw some of that this weekend for sure. Now, on our Freedom Health First Alert Doppler, we are clear, but we're also seeing some temperatures already in the 70s and 80s. Our highs today should be in the mid 80s for us, and we are definitely noticing a bit of a separation when it comes to our temperatures and our dew points. So that just basically means we are on the drier side. So yes, a little bit of moisture is filtering in here and there from the south, but for the most part, we're not going to notice that as much until we start to get into tomorrow in the evening, and then even going into early on Wednesday morning, as these temperatures and dew points are going to be very much so aligned, and that's when we're expecting to see more chances for some showers and storms. So what's going to be bringing in these systems? Well, we're noticing some upper level ridging building in, and also we're still seeing some of the impacts from the high pressure that settled in yesterday. Now it's off to the northeast, but we're still being influenced by that. But this little system right here, I should say, it's a bigger system, upper level low pressure, is going to start to move in. Now, this closed low will start to shift through, and as it does, it'll bring in some shower and storm chances for us, more so from the south. Now, these will carry in more so in some isolated to scattered nature for us. Not expected to deliver severe activity, but definitely could bring in some heavier rainfall as we get into the midweek mark and even pushing towards Thursday as well. We have shower and storm chances that are expected to last all the way into our weekend. So that's why we're telling you to enjoy the weather today on this beautiful Memorial Day, because things are going to change rather quickly for us. So this is what it will look like on Wednesday. You can see most of the area is going to be under that 1 out of 4 marginal threat for excessive rainfall. Also with that risk, we'll be tracking some lightning threats as well, but at least no severe activity expected for a good portion of our week. We're still going to be tracking as we move closer into, I'd say, the weekend a little bit. With instability low and it also shear expected to be low, that's good news for us when it comes to the risk for severe weather. But rain chances, I mean, it's spring for us, so it's kind of normal to be seeing rain for this time of year. I mean, we're still quite a little bit away from summer. I'd say a little bit of a month for us, but we're getting closer to it, and it's starting to kind of feel a little bit like that too. Now, our temperatures are going to be above average, so speaking of warmer temperatures, we'll see some 80s and 70s on the board for us, and that trend will push going into next week. So going to be tracking that. I mean, these shower and storm chances could push all the way into next week. Now, some areas will be on the drier side. Tomorrow, it's not going to be a washout. We'll see more of that consistent rainfall going into Wednesday and Thursday, even maybe Friday. But tomorrow, it looks like it'll push through in the afternoon to evening, and some areas will be dry. Others will see a little bit of that rain, looking more so to the east towards Springfield. And then our outlook is showing actually we might start to kind of drop off a little bit when it comes to our temperatures. So we'll be looking to possibly get below that average. Usually for this time of year, we're in the 70s, sometimes low 80s. But our highs for today are going to be in the 80s for us, around 84 in Joplin and Miami. But as we get into this evening, those lows are going to shift. We'll start to see some 60s and 50s on the board. Now, let's look at our KSN forecast from the Local Weather Authority. We're going to see